Sir! I have a third signature emerging for the breach.
Third signature emerging for the breach.
It's a triple event. God, I was right.
Guess what's brewing? Yep, it's none other than the long-awaited Pacific Rim 3. Can you believe it's been over a decade since Guillermo del Toro's epic hit the big screens? Well, now it's getting another chance to dazzle, this time on Netflix. And hey, did you catch wind of Charlie Hunnam's one condition for making Pacific Rim 3? It could just solve one of the sequel's biggest issues. So what's in store for us with this third installment? From what we've gathered, it's going to be jam-packed with excitement and maybe even some sneaky Easter eggs. Ready for the ride? So what's the buzz with Pacific Rim 3? Well, it seems like it's been hanging around on the Netflix Top 10 chart, barely making the cut at number 10 for the week of January 29 through February 4. But leading the pack in the movie department is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's The Postcard Killings, followed closely by the recent Netflix flick The Greatest Night in Pop and the romantic hit The Vow, starring Channing Tatum. And can you believe it? The Super Mario Bros. Movie is still holding strong at number 4 after a whopping 10 weeks in the top 10. Rounding out the list are some other titles like Fury, The Hill, Deep Fear, Orion and the Dark, and of course, Pacific Rim. Now let's talk about the roots of Pacific Rim. Directed by the one and only Guillermo del Toro and penned by del Toro himself, along with Travis Beacham, this monster of a movie stands as del Toro's most expensive project to date, clocking in at around $200 million. And boy, did it make waves at the box office, hauling in a cool $411 million. With mostly positive reviews, it's no surprise that a sequel, Pacific Rim Uprising, hit screens in 2018. But while Stephen S. DeKnight took over the director's chair for the sequel, del Toro stuck around as a producer. However, Uprising didn't quite measure up to its predecessor, both in terms of box office earnings and critical reception. So what about Pacific Rim 3? Well, there's been some chatter, especially since the franchise expanded with an animated series called Pacific Rim The Black. But despite the rumors, there hasn't been much movement on the third film front. And as for del Toro's take on it, well, he admitted in 2023 that he never even bothered to watch Uprising, comparing it to watching home movies from an ex-wife, not something you'd want to do. Charlie Hunnam, the star of Pacific Rim, has hinted at a potential return to the franchise for Pacific Rim 3, but here's a catch. He's open to reprising his role under one very specific condition, and it could be the key to fixing the biggest problem of the sequel. While there's been no official confirmation about the third installment, the mere possibility of its existence is enough to get fans buzzing, especially after the letdown of Pacific Rim Uprising. In the original 2013 film, we saw a team of skilled pilots operating massive robots to fend off monstrous creatures threatening to bring about the end of the world. Pacific Rim quickly became a standout in the mecha genre, leading to its sequel and even an animated series. Charlie Hunnam, known for his versatility in roles, has yet to revisit a character in a sequel, so his interest in returning to the Pacific Rim franchise speaks volumes about the quality of the original film and the talent involved behind the scenes. With the potential return of Hunnam and the right creative team, there's hope for Pacific Rim 3 to deliver the thrilling action and excitement that fans crave, potentially making up for the shortcomings of Uprising. Guillermo del Toro's absence from Pacific Rim Uprising was felt by many, and it's no secret that it contributed to the sequel's lackluster performance. While Uprising had its moments, it failed to capture the magic and depth of the original film, leaving fans longing for del Toro's visionary touch. Charlie Hunnam, who portrayed Raleigh in the first film, has been vocal about his stance on returning for Pacific Rim 3. He's made it clear that he'd only consider reprising his role if Guillermo del Toro, the mastermind behind the first movie, were to helm the project. And honestly, it's hard to argue with him. Pacific Rim stands out among del Toro's impressive filmography, showcasing his deep love for kaiju movies and his unmatched skill in handling practical effects. His unique vision brought the world of giant robots and monsters to life in a way that felt both exhilarating and authentic. Del Toro's films are known for their rich storytelling, memorable characters, and stunning visuals, and Pacific Rim is no exception. One of del Toro's greatest strengths as a filmmaker is his ability to infuse even the most fantastical stories with genuine emotion and depth. While Uprising focused more on the action, it failed to fully engage audiences with its human drama. Del Toro's meticulous attention to detail and his knack for creating absurd yet compelling characters and worlds make him the ideal candidate to steer the ship for Pacific Rim 3. In the end, if Pacific Rim 3 is to happen, it should only be under the guidance of Guillermo del Toro. His passion for filmmaking and his unparalleled talent make him the true heart and soul of the franchise. While del Toro's involvement would undoubtedly elevate Pacific Rim 3 to new heights, it seems increasingly unlikely that the project will come to fruition. Despite Charlie Hunnam's willingness to return to the franchise under del Toro's direction, recent updates from the acclaimed filmmaker himself suggest otherwise. In 2021, del Toro made it clear that he had no plans to revisit the Pacific Rim series, indicating that his focus lay elsewhere. And while Hunnam's enthusiasm is certainly encouraging, the underwhelming performance of Uprising and del Toro's commitments to other projects further dim the prospects of a third installment. With del Toro immersed in his TV series and other film ventures, the likelihood of him returning to helm Pacific Rim 3 seems slim. And if it means preserving the integrity and vision of the franchise, perhaps it's for the best. After all, del Toro's creative genius and unique perspective are what made the original film so special, and without his guidance, any continuation may struggle to capture the same magic. So while fans may hold out hope for Pacific Rim 3, it's essential to recognize that del Toro's absence may ultimately be a sign that the series has reached its natural conclusion. If the third installment ever does materialize, it should only do so under del Toro's masterful direction, ensuring that the spirit of Pacific Rim remains intact. However, even if Pacific Rim 3 remains a distant dream, fans can still revel in the excitement and nostalgia of the original film. Del Toro's visionary direction, combined with the stellar performances of the cast, created a cinematic experience that continues to captivate audiences. Additionally, the animated series Pacific Rim: The Black offers fans a chance to further explore the rich mythology of the franchise. While it may not be the same as a big-screen sequel, it provides a satisfying continuation of the story and universe established in the films. Ultimately, whether or not Pacific Rim 3 ever comes to fruition, the legacy of the franchise will endure. Its impact on the sci-fi genre and its devoted fanbase ensure that the world of Jaegers and Kaiju will always hold a special place in cinematic history. And who knows? With enough fan enthusiasm and support, anything is possible in the world of entertainment. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed our discussion on the potential for Pacific Rim 3. Do you think Guillermo del Toro should return to helm the next installment? Or are you excited about the possibility of Charlie Hunnam reprising his role? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't hesitate to share your suggestions for future videos. We love hearing from you. See you in the next one.